Hello, welcome to Blind Tasting with Somm Stacey. This is day 3. I did this, but my hand was too low, and I wanted to go back over the wine that we tasted yesterday. I don't know why I keep saying we, it was just me. But the wine, I definitely got wrong, and it threw me off. So before I reveal what this is, I'm going to go over a couple of things, and then let you guys guess your guess again, or disagree with me, or pick the bug out of the glass. The ruby and the orange color should not have thrown me off. I should have paid more attention to it because it's totally not Pinot Noir, right? The jammy and the ripeness part of the fruit, the spice character, the dried spice character, the little bit of leather that's in there. All these things are important in telling, and while it is delicious and earthy and rustic, and there's not as much tannin or not as much acid as I tasted yesterday, and more tannin. All of those things, if you don't get the structure right, you're not going to get the wine right. So, what did I miss? Chateauneuf du Pape, Eric Texier, 2014, Vieilles Vignes, so it's an old vine, Chateauneuf du Pape. 13.5 alcohol, so, we're still in the right realm with alcohol, but not California Pinot. So I am super sorry to Eric Texier that I did that. The wine is super delicious, and I've continued to drink it now that we've opened it. Thank you to my husband for totally throwing me off on this one. So the next wine that we're going to taste is the one for today. Thank you, Texas Fine Wine, for the beautiful Govinos from Texom. Yay! This wine was poured for me by Casey, who works for me at 1618 Midtown, and so we'll see how well she does, how well I do with this wine. So it is a red wine. There's a ruby red to slightly kind of purpley highlights. That's actually looking pretty good in the camera. A little more, it's actually showing a little more garnet on the lens than I think it is. But it's a beautiful color. It is medium concentration. Can't really see through it. Medium plus. There is a moderate amount of staining. There's a little bit that clings to the glass. No sediment or gas, and moderate tearing. Moving to the nose. So it's aromatic. It's moderately aromatic. It is red and black fruit. It's earthy. It's clay. It's dusty. There's a little mushroom to this. A little alcohol burn on the nose. It's clean. Dried spice character. Those reds and purple black fruits, blackberries, raspberries, are dried to overripe without being like sweet or jammy and candy. There's kind of an old nose to it, like not that the wine is old, but it smells kind of dusty and dried. Again, nothing that I don't smell a ton of new oak on this, so larger barrels are used. Moving to the palate. Wine is dry. It is definitely reds and blacks, confirming those characteristics of fruit that is kind of dried and dusty on the palate. Blackberry plum skin. It is a little bit more black and purple than red. So that's an interesting kind of transition on the palate. The herbal spice character is definitely here. It kicks up a little bit. Alcohol is definitely present on this. That mushroomy, earthy character is a little bit more present here. And structure-wise, still dry wine, right? Acidity is, let me taste it one more time, we'll do acidity. Acidity is moderate. Alcohol might even be moderate. Body is medium plus. It is it's got some consistency and some weight on the palate. It is a moderately complex wine. The finish is moderate as well. It kind of goes and then stops. That minerality component is something that kind of lingers around with that earthy. So that is a big deal. Neutral to large oak on this wine. Based on color and complexity, I think I'm going to start talking initial conclusion now if you're ready. So based on the color, complexity of the wine, the structure calls of moderate pretty much across the board with a little bit of elevated alcohol, warmer climate. We could be dealing with, based on the color of fruit, that little bit of earthy component and the spice that was in there. Sorry. The spice that I noticed that's in there, we could deal with Syrah, more like Shiraz. But either one of those I think would be fine. Southern Rhone Syrah from France, or a little Australian Shiraz, but not enough of that green herbal component, so I'm going to kind of kick Shiraz in Australia out. The Malbec possibility is there, with a little bit of color and the fruit component that's in there. We could be dealing with Malbec, it could be Argentina, and then I don't want to really deal with much Bordeaux varietals because I wasn't getting anything green. So the spice is sort of dried. But what else lies in with these guys? I still feel a little old world on it. Just the earth character, the fruit not super leading the bus. And that puts me in maybe like a Sangiovese Brunello camp. The intensity of it, the depth of color. So youthful, I got distracted. The youthfulness of this, I think it's got a little bit of age. There's that dried character that could just be character of fruit, but also presents a little bit of progression of age. 2 to 4 years. Still think 2016 is probably as far back as we need to go with this. And old world, cool, moderate climate. And either dealing with Italy and Sangiovese or Syrah in France. It's not a classic French Syrah version, so I think final conclusion I'm going to go with Brunello Sangiovese from Brunello di Montalcino from Italy from 2016. All right. That didn't feel great. Some days they don't, and today was one of them. So it'll be interesting to find out how badly I did on this wine, or if I somehow pulled that out of my butt. It's probably not Brunello, but it'll be interesting to see. We're going to talk about it tomorrow, and we'll see what happens when you really flow it up. I would love some advice. What happens when you get stuck? Send me some tips. Let me know where I went wrong. Obviously, I got distracted and couldn't focus on things, and that is something tough that you've got to work through mentally, especially when you're sitting in front of a master who is grading you as you go. So, this is revealing. All right, guys, thanks.